Isaac Fitzgerald set out to travel America the slow way, by bus, by train, by ferry. No interstates, no airports, just the kind of travel that forces you to sit next to strangers and actually arrive somewhere instead of just appearing there. His inspiration was Johnny Appleseed, the idea of wandering the country with no fixed destination, spreading something as you go, leaving a place a little different than you found it. Along the way, he stops in dive bars, roadside diners, small towns most people drive through without thinking about it. The idea is a portrait of the country, who lives here, what they care about, what America actually feels like when you slow down enough to see it. It's a genuinely good premise. The book is called American Rambler, as mentioned by Isaac Fitzgerald. And the idea here is that Isaac, it's nonfiction, so Isaac is inspired as a kid by Johnny Appleseed. He was always sort of fascinated with him, and growing up in the East Coast in Massachusetts, there's actually quite a bit of a footprint of Johnny Appleseed, including in the area where he lives. I learned from reading this book that there's a lot of Johnny Appleseed. There's a trail for him. There's statues and monuments for him. So there's quite a bit more than I would have expected regarding Johnny Appleseed. But his fascination with Johnny Appleseed is what starts the premise of this book. And the idea is that he's going to walk the trail that Johnny Appleseed did. He's going to walk around the parts of the country, essentially the Midwest, and kind of get the same feelings and see what he went through. It starts by him just originally leaving. He basically leaves his house and goes about roughly 30 miles away in Massachusetts, and is just going to do the Massachusetts part of the walk. And it's kind of interesting because he's never done anything like this before. His parents are kind of like, especially his dad is kind of like, what are you doing? This is not going to be worth it. They're sort of planning for it the night before, and he has like no gear ready for it. And his dad gives him what he has, and he's like, good luck, son. And that's what interested me in this book, was sort of that idea, is that I like when someone is just kind of like going to go out in the wilderness, find themselves and camp. And he does that on this initial 30-mile journey, gets home, and then he decides he wants to do the rest of it, and essentially spending months out on the road doing the full trail, traveling across America on foot. So as I learned through reading this book, Johnny Appleseed, he's got a big footprint. His fame came from, in many years ago, he would go around the country planting apple trees, and there are now, it's possible that some of the apple trees that are even in existence today came from Johnny Appleseed. Generally, apple trees don't live that long. I think it's estimated roughly 80 to 100 years for a good one, but they could have planted seeds, and there's nothing official. There's even parts of this book where there's like the original Johnny Appleseed tree that he goes and visits. So the premise is cool. And my thinking and what got me interested in it is like immediately in my mind, I'm like, cool, this is like a Pacific Crest Trail book, or like a Bill Bryson Walking the Appalachian Trail kind of a book. And unfortunately, that's just not what this is. I mean, the author essentially spends most of his time driving and going out to bars and drinking and meeting people. And I hate doing this to someone, but he hasn't done anything remarkable enough to make this an interesting memoir, which is what it ends up being. It's not really a travelogue, as it is marketed as. And it's frustrating for me too, because there's advanced praise for this book from Tara Westover of Educated, or Cyril Strayed of Wild, or Colson Whitehead of The Underground Railroad. And that's just, I don't know, the book does not in any way live up to what walking the trail of Johnny Appleseed is, because he doesn't really walk the trail. It's mostly driving. Or it's not like he's out in the wilderness for days and weeks at a time. It's a night, and then he goes somewhere else, stays sometimes in hotels, sometimes in his car, sometimes at friend's house, just kind of bumming around the country. Not interesting enough, nothing exciting happens. So yeah, I hate to do it, but it's just not, doesn't live up to its billing for me. I liked the premise, but it does not deliver. So, yeah, I would unfortunately pass on this unless you have a particular interest in John Chapman, better known as Johnny Appleseed. So that's the review for American Rambler by Isaac Fitzgerald. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. I'll see you in the comments. Thank you.